At dusk, as millions of people turn on their lights, appliances, and heaters, the energy grid of this metropolis experiences a massive spike. Voltage levels fluctuate wildly, threatening a cascading failure that could plunge the entire area into darkness. But before a single breaker trips, the grid stabilizes, the power flow redirects, the spike is absorbed, and the city fixes itself in a fraction of a second, without a single human lifting a finger. Keeping a modern city running requires balancing millions of variables at once. When unpredictable surges or severe weather strikes, traditional automation simply cannot keep up. Conventional smart contracts and control software rely on deterministic if-then rules. Every possible outcome has to be explicitly coded in advance. If a variable falls outside those rigid parameters, the system doesn't know how to adapt. It just fails. And relying on human oversight is physically impossible in these scenarios. A control room operator cannot perceive and react to a millisecond-level fault in time to prevent a grid collapse. To manage that level of complexity, urban infrastructure requires two things: an adaptive brain capable of analyzing data on the fly, and an instantaneous, decentralized ledger to execute decisions the moment they are made. To see how this works, look at an everyday smart refrigerator. It constantly monitors its own temperature alongside the home's overall power consumption. This fridge is equipped with Agentic AI. Unlike basic smart devices that merely follow strict schedules, Agentic algorithms evaluate real-time context, like energy pricing and grid strain, to make independent, goal-oriented decisions. Let's say the household experiences a sudden energy bottleneck, right as the fridge needs to run its compressor. The AI scans the local network and identifies a neighbor's electric vehicle sitting idle with excess battery capacity. In real time, the refrigerator pings the vehicle. It autonomously negotiates a micropayment rate and trades for excess energy, communicating directly with the car's computer. Routing this transaction through a centralized bank would take days to clear and cost more in fees than the energy itself is worth. Instead, these machines use a blockchain layer to settle the trade securely and instantly. This flowchart illustrates the architecture. Off-chain data, like a refrigerator's temperature, feeds directly into the AI processing engine. Once the AI computes the optimal trade, it passes that decision to an AI-enhanced smart contract, triggering the payment the exact millisecond energy is delivered. This single machine-to-machine exchange resolves a local resource deficit in a fraction of a second. A human-managed utility company would never have the visibility or the speed to facilitate a trade this small and specific. Now, zoom out from that one kitchen. Across the city, millions of these machine-to-machine connections are happening simultaneously. When that massive power surge hit the grid at dusk, it wasn't absorbed by a giant central battery. It was dispersed because millions of individual refrigerators, HVAC units, and electric vehicles instantly negotiated micro-trades to balance the load. Every connected piece of hardware, cars, solar panels, and water pumps, acts as an autonomous node. They constantly communicate, buying and selling resources to route around failing infrastructure and keep the broader system stable. The physical concrete and steel of the city are now layered with a living, decentralized financial network. The infrastructure actively balances its own survival through millions of tiny, automated economic choices. We are entering the autonomous economy. In this system, we have intelligent assets, devices and software capable of holding digital wallets, analyzing market conditions, and trading value entirely on their own. Because this invisible workforce doesn't need to sleep, it can optimize supply chains, manage financial portfolios, and stabilize power grids 24 hours a day, reacting to new data without fatigue or delay. But giving machines the autonomy to execute financial contracts introduces severe risks. If a cluster of AI agents makes an error in a high-speed trading environment or triggers a cascading sell-off to protect a local grid, figuring out who is legally liable becomes incredibly difficult. To prevent autonomous algorithms from creating systemic market shocks, institutions are having to build entirely new frameworks. We need programmable guardrails, robust anomaly detection, and human oversight protocols designed specifically to audit agents that execute trades at the speed of light. The next time you look out over a city at night, consider the vast, silent economy operating in the background. The stability of human civilization is increasingly dependent on billions of intelligent, autonomous conversations we will never hear, making sure the lights stay on for everyone.